Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, I want to give all praises due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakadash, the ones apostles, bishops, elders of great millstone that rule well, and shalom, true brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continue fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing. We are found in that number to be delivered. All right. So I just want to speak a little bit about the apostles in their videos and the topics of their videos this past weekend. And listening to the apostle Tahar and elder apostle Gabar, it's true. We got to push this word more fervently than ever before. We are coming down to the wire in this thing, and pushing the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai throughout the four corners of the earth has to be out on an all-time high, man. On an all-time high frequency, and all hands on deck at this moment. We can't slack not a moment, man. We can't slack not a moment. It's go time. It's show time. Lord Yahweh Shai is about to start doing shit that we have never seen before. And all praises due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for giving us the ability to see these things, these marvelous things that he's going to be performing. All right? And likewise with Elder Apostle Ramlab's video. Now, he was making mention about the seriousness of what we're involved in and the magnitude of how serious this thing is. And that was the spirit, because today before camp, Elder Amos and I we mentioned the very same thing. How a lot of brothers, we don't think really know how serious this thing is, man. Especially some of the younger brothers that, you may just be, in the camp and not really, putting forth the thought of how serious this is. So it's imperative that you fully understand what's going on through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. So all that being said, I'm gonna jump over to Matthew, the 25th chapter, because if you think about it, we are coming up in this time period right now. All right. The Lord is about to make his return. The five wise virgins, which represents the hope for the elect. We're about to, Lord willing, be beamed up and be protected. The five foolish, most likely are those who have come in and fell out. But we in this time period right now, because as we're going to read, it speaks about the bridegroom cometh, and it's symbolic of the coming and returning of Yahweh Shai. All right, starting at 1, it says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be like unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom." When you come into this thing, you're given a spiritual lamp, man. And that oil, that lamp is filled with the oil, which is the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, these scriptures. All right? That's that oil that's in your lamp when you first are given that lamp, that spiritual lamp. And when you come into this thing, it's all, this is all you can think of. This is all you can think of. You're reading, you're studying, taking notes, all these things as a young virgin in this thing. Verse 2, it says, 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. And it's gonna be evidently clear why 5 were wise and why 5 were foolish. All right. 3, they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Right. Because the foolish, you went out, you had your lamp, you probably was like, yeah, you at the top of it, telling people you were Israelite, you Israel, so on and so forth. But through the course of time, that oil that was in that lamp kind of dried up, because you became less enthused about what was happening. Maybe your girl came and, gave you an ultimatum. made your lamp dry up, but you still telling people, yeah, Israel, Israel, Israel. You had a lot of guys like that, man. Okay. Verse 4. But the wise took oil in their vessel with their lamps. And these were the representation of those who were saturated in the oil, man. Because when you look at the dynamics of a lamp, right? You got the lamp, you got the base where the oil goes, then you got the wick that sits in the oil, and the oil soaks up the wick soaks up the oil. And as the wick sticks out the top of the lamp, there's certain ways you can trim that wick so it burns properly. All right. So when the foolish when the foolish received their lamps, their wick probably wasn't trimmed properly, so the oil burnt out faster and they fizzled out. All right. And again, it's all symbolic because you had a lot of men that have come into this thing on fire, hot, blazing. But that wick burnt out really quickly and they became disenchanted. They fell back into the world. Things weren't happening fast enough. There was no real reward right away for being out there in the rain, in the cold. As a matter of fact, you probably lost your girl, you probably lost your job, you probably got arrested, you probably, lost friends. All those things that you used to have, you probably lost. So one would say, well, damn, where's the benefit in this? All right. Verse 5. It says, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And again, which is symbolic to the time we're living in now. So the Lord is tarrying things. The Lord is in a holding pattern, but it also gave the credence for somebody to fall back into the world. As it is written, while the bridegroom tarried. Some cats didn't see the quick reward. They didn't see the benefit, which then the oil dried up, the wick dried up, the lamp was put out. They're back into the world. They're going back into the things that was satisfying, that were gratifying, things that was given a quick reward. Some cats went back into the world, became niggas again and selling drugs. Some cats went back into the world trying to be actors and actresses, movie stars, whatever, or trying to get back into the sports realm. You see, this is all taking place while the bridegroom tarried. But the wise kept their oil in their lamp, kept their wick saturated. And again, that oil represents the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of this Bible. Okay? So, 5 again. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Right? And at midnight, there was a cry made. Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. All right? So now, as the cry is being made, here we are, 2025. Things are starting to shape up. Things are starting to come together now. Right? It says, 7. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And again, the trimming of your lamp is symbolic of the wick. You trim that wick. You can trim the wick in a point. You can trim the wick in a U-shaped fashion. And on how you trim that lamp, that wick rather, how you trim that wick is how your flame's gonna burn. All right. The trimming of the wick is also a key component of a lamp burning properly. Okay. So the virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps have gone out. And this is also symbolic of what? Men trying to come back to the truth, man. After they done fell out, after they went back into the world. See the prophecies happen. They see 2025 coming off with a bang. It was right out the gate, man. That's gonna shake up a few people, man. The shit that's going on is gonna shake up a few people. A few of those foolish virgins are going to be shook up a little bit. Now they're going to try to get back into the mix. All right? Verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. So put it this way, right? We know, as we stand out there today, we know that anybody that has fallen off or went back into the world or has changed the doctrine or has given, is given heed to seducing spirits or changing the name of the Lord, anybody that has done that, we understand and know the Lord is done. He's done with you. He cut you off. All right? So when the wise made this statement to the foolish, it was like them being sarcastic with them. Because at this point, it doesn't matter. The Lord's not going to accept you. All right? So go and buy from somebody else. Go do something else. Go do this and go do that. All in all, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because the Lord has already cut you off, man. And it's going to prove that. And it says, verse 10, it says, while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So what does that mean? We went into the marriage and the door was shut because the Lord looked upon us, seeing that the lamps were oiled, seeing that the oil was always in the lamp, seeing like we was trimming those lamps to the proper position, right? Verse 12. But he answered and said, verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. You see? So when the wise told them to go buy for yourselves, they already knew. No matter what you do, whether you buy, whether you sell, whether you do whatever, the Lord has already cut you off. So this is the time that we're living in, man. With Matthew's, the 25th chapter is about to play out, man. Concerning those virgins. And it always takes like some major event to take place before people start resurfacing again. Now they back trying to get back on fire. They trying to, come push the word again. Now they trying to show that they're Israelites and they're prophets. Well, that's too late, man. As the Lord said, I know you not. 13. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. All right? So always be mindful of keeping your lamp and keeping the oil in your lamp. You cats out there, your oil has leaked out. There was a crack in your lamp and the oil seeped on out of there. And there's no fixing that, man. Once you take your hand off the plow, there's no fixing that. Because 9 times out of 10, when you take your hand off the plow, the Lord turns you over to a reprobate spirit. Then the next thing you know, you calling on, Bartholos, Yahshua, Yahweh, and all these other titles and secret code names that people like to, conjure up. All right. So again, that being said, 14, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto him his goods. And as you read down, it talks about the talents. Matter of fact, let me jump down, because when you read from 15 to verse 24, the Lord is commending the wise servants who received certain number of talents, and they doubled his money up. All right. But let's jump to 24, because 24 is also symbolic to the foolish virgins. It says, verse 24 says, Then he which received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. All right. So somebody knew, man. This man knew what the deal was. He knew what the deal was when he took that penny, man. He took that 1 talent. He knew the deal. Verse 25. He says, and I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth, and lo, there thou hast this talent. Salakia. And lo, thou hast thine. I don't know why I can't see that. And lo, there thou hast that is thine. 26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sow not, and gather where I have not strawed. All right, so this is how the Lord is going to view most of you cats out there who came into this thing, put your hand to the plow, and decided to go back into the world because these things weren't happening fast enough for you. Or this thing was a fad that you decided you wanted to be a part of and lost interest. All right? You think you're going to just take your hand off the plow and walk away? Absolutely not, man. The Lord's coming to inquire. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is coming to inquire. So you ain't going to just come in this thing and walk away like you just, I'm all set. Thanks anyway. Absolutely not, man. You're going to have to pay account for your actions. And this is what this is explaining. Where we at? 27. It says, Thou oughtest therefore have put my money to the exchanges, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. All right, so that's telling you, you came into this thing. The Lord delivered you something, and you made a deal. All right, Lord, I'm gonna go put my hand to this plow and I'm gonna go do this work. But in the sense that maybe the world, was against you, family, your girl, all these things and all these cats you used to run with, all these people just, this nigga crazy, and you missed that life. You turned back into that life, and now the Lord's gonna come back to inquire, what was you doing? Where's my shit? What's going down? 28. Take therefore the talent from him and give it to him that have 10 talents. For unto every one that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he have. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right? So we're living in that time period for Matthew 25. Because the Lord is on his way back. And again, when that cry is being made, the bridegroom cometh, is also symbolic to the apostles, giving out that heed, man. That's symbolic of the apostles saying, listen, every brother should be doing a video every single day, including myself, man. I do a video a day, skip a day, do another video a day, skip a day. Now it's going to be, again, it only makes sense, man. It only makes sense for all hands to be on deck and for all of us to push, man, like we've never pushed before. So get behind the apostles, who are behind Yahushai, and let's push it, man. Let's get it. Let's get this work. Let's roll out that red carpet, man. All praises be to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, who's worthy to be praised. And at the sight of his coming, may he see us and be happy, man. May he see us and want to give, that word back to the Heavenly Father that these were my faithful servants, man. All right. So I'm going to end it with that. Lord willing, I'm going to see you brothers on another one. I'm going to say shalom.